Hello, you all. Thank you for joining me again. This is Shavonda Marie with Love, Stress, Strength, and Love. I really appreciate you guys. This has been a journey for me, but baby, I'm learning, baby. I am learning. Not only am I learning, but I am being blessed. Again, thank you all for your likes, subscribes, and your comments. They really help my channel to grow. All right, you all. Enough of all of that. Let's jump right into the topic. Okay, today's topic is going to be about the different generational women. Okay, just females, period. Okay, so we have. I'm going to only speak based upon my life because I'm not able to actually generate for everyone else's life, but I'm sure somewhere down the line it generates for them in some way or you in some way. So, three different type of generations for me that allowed me to grow was my great grandma. Okay. Hey granny. Now, my granny generation was a whole lot different from today's generation, even um, my generation, right? Okay, so my granny was born in 50s, 60s, around them times, okay? Granny, I'm sorry, but if I'm not mistaken, I want to say it was 50s. Okay. So their generation was a lot of survival mode. Okay. That generation was based upon tradition. Okay. Meaning that things had to be done a certain type of way. Okay. And a lot of them followed that way. But what I have learned tapping into me and my generation is each generation is different. Okay, each generation stands for something. Now, my granny's generation pretty much stands for survival, how to actually survive. Okay, how to do things in a structured way, in a balanced way. Well, I'm not going to really say balance because a lot of them lived one sided, mean they live strictly by the Bible, okay, which is a religious factor. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Bible, okay? It is what it is, and they strictly um they strictly live by that, okay, which for me and my generation that was not considered as living, okay. And I want to say the next generation was actually my mother, okay. I got to see a little difference between my granny generation and my mother's generation. Okay. Now, my mother was born in the 60s, all right, late 60s. So early 70s. Okay. So she has a lot of the traditional way of actually living and the one-sided way, but she do knows and understand the whole balanced way, the whole living freely way. And when I say freely, you all, I just mean that you are the co-founder of your life, that you are the director, that you control your life, all right, that you have the connection with your higher power, okay, with God, that it is allowing you to actually see growth, to actually hear growth, to actually be able to experience the growth that's for you. Okay, I want you all to make sure that you're tapping into that because, again, this is my story, but you have your own. Okay, depending on how far it goes back for me, for you. Okay, this just how far it goes back for me, which is my great grandma and then my mother. Okay, my mother generation, they live one-sided, but like I said before, they knew the balanced way, they knew the humble way. A lot of them refused to actually tap into that side of them. Okay. It's a thing of, I believe, but I believe that everything that I do is going to come back to me, which it will. But you have to make sure that it is positive if you really want to see the change. Okay. So the negative, most definitely toxic, will come back to you as well as the positive. So I want to tap a little bit more into the generations. Okay, so the traditional way, which my grandma lived, and the traditional way with the little bits of un- untraditional involved, which is my mother way, brings you to me. All right, you all. So, my mom, okay, again, she knows what it is to survive. She also have dipped her fingers into that balanced way. So she knows that away. She knows that way as well. But like I said, it's a thing of hurt and pain when we are thinking a certain type of way. We act in a certain type of way. Okay. So a lot of people in the 50s generation, which is my granny generation, they didn't know about um, healing. Okay, I'm not gonna say all because each generation have them people out there where they feed in one side or the other and then that balanced way. So in that generation though, for me, my grandma did not know it. So she did not have the opportunity to or I'm not going to say opportunity, she did not get the chance to teach my mom that. Okay, my mom, like I said, her generation 60s, a lot of them, they tested it, but when something became so difficult for them, or it was a thing of giving up, right, they will run from it, or they will push it in the back and they will say, yeah, I'm not dealing with that right now. Now it's not the time. Okay. But for my generation, which is the 80s generation, tapping into my cousin's generation, which is a 70s generation, yes, very connected, as well as my auntie. Okay. Very connected. Really understand that it's a difference between the 70s, who's tapped in more with the 60s and 50s, versus um the 70s babies who are tapped in with the 70s but more of the 80s. Okay, which was my cousin. Okay, it actually got to teach me in a different way than my auntie and my grandma or my mother, okay? Which was beautiful because I learned three generations of it pretty much already. So now here's the fourth generation for my family, right? And it's me. All right. So I am non traditional, okay? But I do have that piece of traditional, okay? I because I was surrounded by it, I grew up with a lot of it, I am tapped into it, okay? But that's not the way that I choose to live my life, okay? Because for me, living traditional it was hard. It was super challenging. It kept me in the past for so long. It kept me repeating cycles. All right. It kept me in a confused state. So I stepped over to try something different. Okay. Not in the same sense of traditional, right? Because you can step over in the traditional way, as from negative to positive or positive to negative, but in the same sense, yeah, not for me. Okay. I stepped over knowing knowing the traditional way, and actually allowing myself to take heed to all the generations before me, especially the women, okay, which allow me to tap into my own feminine energy, okay. My feminine energy is similar to my mom, similar to my cousins, my aunties, similar to my grandma, but in the same sense, it's a whole lot more or a whole lot different than tapping in with my own daughter who's about to be 18, my cousins who are in their early 20s, tapping into my youngest daughter, which is she's about to step into a teen. And, again, my little nieces, the ones that are just coming into, right? Being able to tap into all of those, I find myself in the middle, right? But in the middle of saying that something has to be changed. Either we are going to continuously allow ourselves to teach, experience, and hear about, or you know pay attention to the generations before us in a negative way, or we're going to utilize that, bring it into now, because that's most definitely what I have done, moved it into now, and mix the little bits of the present, I mean of the future, with it, which is how I was able to become balanced, okay. My generations before me allowed me to learn survival techniques. When I say survival techniques, I mean learning how to get my own money, learn how to raise kids in a way where I um, demand my respect and control the different things that I was not able to control, and control my own things. Yeah, that right there is a little bit too stressful for me. Not only is it too stressful, but it put more on my plate than I need to have on my plate. Okay. Being a single mother with three kids, especially again, one of them is stepping out into the real world, a teenager who's stepping into high school, that young man stage, to a child, who's stepping over into her teenage years, and it's like, baby, the different attitudes, the different um um goals, and the different missions, and how they respond with the passion and the motivation. Those three right there is a lot. Okay, especially for me to actually experience, for me to actually see and hear and pay attention to it. So to put that on top of mom, granny, auntie, cousins, it's like I'm bringing all y'all baggage in with me, and then I have created my own baggage that I'm bringing into me. Yeah. No, I am going to release the baggage, take what I have learned that has taught me to actually learn how to survive, because the generations before us, right, the 80s babies, right, the generations before us only knew survival, okay? They were learning how to live just as I was learning how to live. The thing about it is, a lot of them did not understand that in order for them to be able to do that, they had to live in their truth. Okay. They had to walk in their purpose. They had to release things and people that did not serve them, meaning they had negative and toxic energy attached to them. Yeah, a lot of them have not learned how to do that, but they are in the process of learning. So many of them, because I want to say that um, them paying attention to the 80s babies and how we're actually manifesting and putting things out there, doing it in multiple ways, not just a one sided way. We sit with ourselves, we meditate, we tap into our own personal power, and we allow ourselves to pay attention to the young, to the old, to the negative, to the toxic, to the small, to the big. So we're paying attention to the present, and it allow us to actually walk through the past, release that, open new doors, which is the present, walk through that, learn what it is we need to learn, but in the meanwhile, enjoy ourselves. So we're not missing those years, which is the present moment. We're not missing the present. We're still doing what it is we need to do, and we're still living, which is enjoying ourselves. We're still doing it all. Hmm. We watch the younger generation, which is again 90s, 2000s. Okay. We watch them, and they are extremely motivated the way that they have. And when I say motivated, I mean motivated to get out there and do them, become free, right? But the thing about it is, a lot of them have learned it in a negative, toxic way, but yet to receive it and experience it in a loving way. So, of course, if you tap into the toxic and, negative, you're going to make it a habit. So, when you make it a habit, you're then living by it and you're moving with that flow. But if you tap into the loving, hmm, then you will be able to see how many more blessings you receive, how well your life flow instead of going up and down. Yes, we have had challenges in the past. We have challenges right now in the present. Most definitely, we're going to have challenges in the future, because without the challenges, it would not allow us to grow. We learn something about ourselves, about others each and every day, whether it's through the people that comes into our space, through our environment, through the things that we experience or even explore, right? We learn it every day. And if we're really tapped into it, huh, that's all we pretty much paying attention to. How is it that I can take what I know, what I have learned or am learning, and utilize it for my presence? Okay, that's the focus, the bigger picture, not just the present. And for damn show, excuse me, not the past, because the past is gone. It didn't happen. Regardless if we regret things, if we enjoy things, huh, we not able to get them times back, but we can utilize them for right now to make it more amazing for us in the future. Not only us, but our children and their children. In the same sense, it's like non-traditional over traditional. Hmm. I like the fact that I know traditional. I like the fact that I can take pieces from traditional. And I like the fact that I get to learn non traditional as well as move in non traditional, unconventional way, right? Where I am tapped in, um more spiritual, you know knowing the logic, knowing the reality, and able to live with both of them. Okay. Huh. It's a thing of saying beautiful. That's what make me say that life is beautiful, but it's a mess, because again, it's a journey. And it's your journey. Like, this one is my journey. I went back. Let's say I am a 80s baby. So I know my generation, right? I connected with a lot of my generation. I work with a lot of my generation, because they're helping me to tap into me in a more authentic way, again, which is taking what I know, bringing it into the present, creating something that I know will work for the future. And how I know it will work for the future is because it's working right now in the present. And the only thing that it can do for the future is enhance itself and become greater. So, again, the only thing now I can do is move balanced, move humble because I love it, right? The challenges and stuff makes my life a mess, but I know multiple ways. I have a resource. I have angels that actually come in and out. Even if they're here for 2 or 3 days, they're here teaching me something. And I get to actually tap into it and learn it, which allow me to utilize it right now. Not stealing their things because I ask questions. And for me to ask questions, that means that I'm getting answers to how they got that or what made them choose that, which allow me to understand for my own self, not from my granny's point of view, not from my mom's point of view, not from my cousins, auntie, kids, nieces, but my own point of view for me, because it's helping me to grow, to change, whether it's change my attitude, change how much I'm giving, changing the fact that I need to learn how to receive in a different way, change the fact of a different addictions that I have, and when I say addictions, I mean eating junk food, because that's one of mine, I gotta confess. Okay. And in the same sense, it's like that's what my mom used to do. That's what my granny used to do. That's what my cousin, my auntie used to do. And how I'll be damned, they're still doing it. So if I do not break that cycle, guess what? My girls, nieces, cousins will be doing the same thing. Where do that get us? Diabetes. Hmm. Heart, high blood pressure, a lot of different health issues. And it's like, wait a minute, if I'm not tapping into my health, then I won't be able to tap into anything else that is meant for me to tap into. And that goes with my career, that goes with my job, that goes with my family, my kids, my partner, my friends, just different people who I have the ability to touch. But how am I going to do all of that and my health is not good? Hmm. Work on my health. That's my first thing. Or my mental, right? It was a thing that it's so many different energies coming at me and did not realize that I tap into them. Which when I tap into them, then I become that, or I'm picking up that energy. So I'm sharing that energy. And it's like, wait, girl, what's your own energy? Because anytime somebody else's energy comes towards you and it's not positive or negative, baby, we don't want that. We don't want it because your energy is a loving energy, a positive energy, and it's like that's what's keeping you motivated, keeping you feeling good just to dance, just to sit, be patient and listen, observe, tap in, you are, okay? It allows me to do that. Hmm. Without the confusion, because I have already learned one side or another. I have and am continuously working on learning for the balance. So, baby, huh? You say what? Hmm. Yes, transformation is amazing, y'all. If you have not tapped in, now is the time. If you are confused and you're looking for that sense of direction, huh, tap in with somebody who knows, who have experienced it. Again, I give out clarification readings, okay? So if you need a reading just to help you get to understand where you are right now, I'm here. So you all, again, tap into you, transform, because transformation, especially from one side or another to a balanced, humble way, is beautiful. You don't have to wear the mask, which is fake, act this way around one person and this way around that person. No, you can be you all around the board. You don't have to laugh or be sad because everybody else is being sad. Baby, when people are sad, I am happy because, again, where's that balance? When people are happy, I continuously be happy. So that growth, that connection can be more powerful. Because if you're doing it with love and you moving through balance or in a balanced way, baby, it's beautiful. And that's all I could really say, y'all. That love, strength that you gathered from generation and generations before you, allow yourself to use all of that love and the love that you are gaining from the present moment and the younger kids, the things that they are doing and how they moving. Because, baby, they mind said, hey, I'm ready. Hey, let me teach you this so maybe you could get ready and we could be ready together. Same thing I've been doing. Same thing the generations before me have been doing. But the thing about it is, we only can teach and do what we know. Tap into you, you all, and most definitely, you will be able to discover something so much more beautiful within you, which then you will be able to share it with those who are not able to share with themselves, who are not able to um, tap into it, right? Teach it. Hmm. But in the same sense, when I say tap into that energy, baby, you don't have to stick with them, okay? You can walk past and give a smile. Hmm. And that energy is goes through someone and say, that felt good. Or dang, I want to smile like that. And baby, it helps them start to tap into them. You can walk past and say, good morning, or you have a great day, or you're beautiful. And just those words can actually allow someone else to tap into them to make them smile. A lot of us, especially Black people, right? We are so into jealousy and hatred. Hey, we had to be that way back then, but we do not have to be that way right now. Huh. Once you tapped in, baby, you're going to be able to pay attention. You're going to be able to feel, to hear, to go to that higher power and ask for whatever it is that you want, but not stressing or worrying about it. Just doing it, taking action because you know how. You have taught your own self how to the way that works for you, not the generations before and saying you better do this, or the generations that's coming to say, we need to do this. No, it's you're learning it and you're doing it your way. Okay, you all, that is my whole different type of standpoints of different generations. Okay, I'm gonna run it back to you again. We got the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, 90s, and 2000, baby. I have experienced them all, and I'm sure you have experienced at least two or three of them, if not more. Because again, that is where we learn from. We learn from the present, the things we experience, we pay attention to. If you're paying attention to negative and toxic, you're going to learn negative and toxic. If you put your kids in an environment where there is nothing but negative and toxic, that's what they're going to learn. So, y'all, let's do it in a loving way. Okay? You can leave a little bit of toxic around them so they know and understand it, but put them in an environment where it's all love. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? Beautiful. They're still paying attention. They are our sponges, and we are our generations before them, before us. We're their sponges. So, breaking cycles is beautiful, y'all. And it's something that we need to understand that we all have to do for our own selves. Okay? Because it actually is the present moment, which again, it's reflecting on the future. I love you all so much. Thank you for tapping in with me. Please do not forget to leave a comment. Please do not forget to like and share and subscribe. Until next time, you all.